New York Times bestselling author Marlene Koch is here with the much-anticipated and updated and revised version of the paperback edition of her 5-star New York Times bestselling, groundbreaking, did I say enough, cookbook, Eat What You Love. She had me at that line to begin with. I didn't even have to read the book to know I was going to love it. Registered dietitian, popular TV personality, diabetes expert, bestselling author. Welcome to my show, Marlene Koch.
Well, thank you for having me, Wendy.
My gosh. Okay, first of all, the title alone is what everybody wants to know, and everybody wants to do, and everyone wants to hear. Eat what you love. Just eat it.
Right. Well, I think that that's what everyone wants to do, and the truth is that's what everyone does do. Everyone says, oh, I'm going to follow this diet or that diet, and I'm going to only eat these other things, but we all go back to eating the foods we love because that's what we want. So what I did is I took all of the foods that people love, and I made them for them in a way that those foods will love them back. They're lower in sugar, they're lower in fat, they're lower in calories, they fit every diet in the world, but I don't even like to call it a diet. They're just a way that you can eat those foods, and if you have health goals, if you have health concerns, they're going to address them, but you're still eating the foods you love.
Isn't it amazing? I'm like, this is just so, to me it seems so simple, what you just said, right?
Right.
What you love, just do it different with lower sugar, lower fat, lower calories, and all that other stuff. Because I do think that, like, I've had so many people on that talk, that have written books and friends and that have tried diets and this one, that one, and you do it, and yes, you might lose the weight, but then you're right back where you started from because you jump off the bandwagon.
Well, you're lucky if you even lose the weight to begin with. I mean, if you can stick to it. They all work. This is the really interesting thing. And I've been a dietitian for over 25 years. All diets work if you stick to that quote-unquote diet until you get off of it, which everyone does. Who gives up chocolate cake forever?
Right. Who doesn't have a birthday, some bite of something? You're right.
Exactly. And, my stepdaughter has diabetes. My sister follows the Weight Watcher program. I come from a family of 9. I have 5 hungry brothers. I don't want to make 5 different meals. What I want to do is I want to make chicken parm that everybody can enjoy and chocolate cake that everybody can enjoy. And what's super exciting is over the years with this book is what I hear from people is I got the book, I started cooking that way, I love the food, I just didn't think it would do that much for me. 50 pounds, 70 pounds, 100 pounds. My blood sugar's under control. My husband, who would never eat healthy food, his blood sugar's under control. They're just amazed that, I can eat the foods I love. I don't have to have no dairy, no sugar, no dessert, and do all of that to achieve my health goals.
Isn't that amazing? Wait, can you back up to what you said earlier? 9 brothers?
No, 9 in the family.
9 in the family, okay. Oh, my God, how in the world? Wow.
Exactly, and they're the greatest test for me, as are my 2 boys in their 20s, because there's no way they're going to eat food that doesn't taste good. So taste always leads. It took me 3 years to write the book.
Wow.
And the reason is people say, well, so for every recipe, what do? You just throw in yogurt. And it's like, no, you don't, because then it doesn't taste like the ooey gooey, wonderful, creamy, cheesy things we love. Every recipe, I use that perfect mix of ingredients, but I'm using things that we all buy that are reasonably priced, that you can find whether you shop at Whole Foods or Walmart. I'm not buying odd ingredients to do this. I'm buying traditional foods that we eat. But yes, it's the light sour cream. Yes, it's the reduced fat part of the cheese, not the non-fat, but I also use Parmesan cheese and blue cheese, highly flavored cheeses that you can just use a little bit of. So it's really, when you put this food out at your buffet or your picnic this summer, people might say, this is the best potato salad I've ever eaten. Little do they know that I have took 1,000 calories out because I didn't use cups and cups of just full-fat mayonnaise.
Wow. Eat what you love. More than 300 incredible recipes, low in sugar, fat, calories. My gosh. So that's... It's amazing. It does seem so simple, so I'm going to be following it, and all the recipes are guaranteed to taste great, so everybody will like it. They're all easy. They're all realistic.
Exactly. Realistic, they're the foods we love. It's Caesar salad, and it's a panini, and it's chicken parm, and it's onion rings and chocolate cake. The realistic things. The tips are realistic. Again, I've been a dietitian 25 years. I'm not asking people to jump through the moon or to buy, tofu noodles when they grew up Italian like me. Nope, right. You're going to buy pasta, but I'm going to give you some tips in there how to make that pasta work for your diet, whether you have type 1 or type 2 diabetes, whether you have a gluten-free issue. So with this new book, we brought it out in paperback. It had already sold 250,000 copies, got top ratings, but what we did is I put the 2 pages in for people who need gluten-free. I put in the page for people who are using the non-dairy milk alternatives, because guess what? Almond milk doesn't taste the same, and it doesn't thicken the same. And first, I'm a cook. The very first thing, I'm Marlene Koch, even though it's K-O-C-H.
So funny, right?
Exactly. I want it to taste great. I've taught chefs, and I need this to pass the muster. And I was telling someone, we make it as many times as you need to. We make each recipe as many times as it takes that we take a bite in our mouth and we would say, oh my gosh, we love this. That's how I decide if something is a recipe worth being in the book, even though it's also healthier and better for you.
Wow, 300 incredible recipes, from meal planning to shakes to winning appetizers to hot and cold beverages to desserts. It has everything. And the main goal of this book, I know that you've said this, is to ensure that everyone could eat the food that we love. Which
right,
is
and everyone is that big emphasis, everyone, because there's so many people have so many different dietary needs these days, right?
It's true.
Right.
I'm telling you, I've never had to worry. I was always like that skinny stick kid, and 2 kids later, your metabolism is changing. Everything's all different. So all the things that I was able to eat then, I can't. But now I have a book called Eat What You Love, and I can eat everything that I love. And it's really, really your book. It's easy to follow. Really easy to follow.
Exactly.
And for everybody, because there's so much in it.
Well, there's over 300 recipes. You're going to find something for everyone. But, for instance, I make key lime cheesecake cupcakes and take these to parties in the summer. They're 140 calories. They have less carbs than a piece of bread. They're only 4 Weight Watcher points. The points are in the book. The diabetes exchanges are in the book. The information, if you just got diagnosed or you know someone who has it, your husband has, and you're like, I don't know what to do. I'm afraid I can't make all the foods he used to love. You can. The information's in the book and there for you. And then in the back, I have 2 weeks worth of weight loss carb control menus. I didn't have that the first time because it said, this is a cookbook. This isn't a big diet for life book. This is a cookbook with that added benefit that everything just happens to be less sugar, less fat, less calories. But I've had people lose 50 pounds, 100 pounds. And people say, how do they do that? And I said, well, I'll tell you what. Now I'm going to give you 2 weeks worth of menus so you don't have to count any numbers, and it's going to have things like corkscrew, I'm out of pasta with chicken and broccoli Alfredo. It's going to have, pizza on it and pancakes on it and wraps on it and chili-style grilled beef fajitas. People love, I do an orange chicken that tastes exactly, I kid you not, exactly Wendy like Panda Express.
Oh, I believe it. So most cookbooks usually focus on the fat and the calories, and you take it the extra step, and you also slash the sugar.
Well, I think that sugar is really a big issue for people, and as we all know, there's the old snack wall phenomenon. They're like, well, just lower the fat, and you're like, but you took the fat out of the cake and you replaced it with sugar. That's not better for me. It's still really high in carbs. It's as high in sugar. That's not good for your heart or your brain, or certainly for anyone who has a blood sugar. And they'll say, oh, well, sugar's not, but sugar's the problem. So you buy a no sugar book, which sometimes has things in it like maple syrup, which is sugar, and it's full of fat and sticks of butter. We know that diet, right? And you're like, well, is this better for you? So I moderated everything. It is not no sugar, no fat, no calories, no taste.
Right.
I mean, come on.
Right.
But it is less, and sometimes it's phenomenal, like that chicken broccoli Alfredo. If you go out to a restaurant, that is 1,000 calories on your plate.
Wow.
And 50 grams of saturated fat. The recipe in my book is 350 calories, and it has only 4 grams of saturated fat. I mean, you just can indulge so freely, and that recipe takes 15 minutes to make.
Isn't it amazing? And how many calories are we supposed to have per day?
You're supposed to have on your food labels 2,000. But what I find most women in over age about 45 go down to 1,800 calories a day. Younger women maybe 2,200 calories a day. Men 2,400 calories a day. So the thing is, you go out and have a piece of cheesecake at the famous place for cheesecake. It's 1,200. So if your limit is 1,800 and it's 1,200, you're done.
Right, you're done. And what about all the fruits that have so much sugar in it? Is that good sugar?
It is. It's, all sugar is sugar for your body. Your body, whether you eat a pound of grapes or you eat a teaspoon of sugar, it is going to convert it to sugar. So people who say that, certainly they're accurate. And we need that sugar to fuel our brain, to give us energy. The difference is that the sugar that comes in fruit comes with fiber, it comes with phytochemicals, it's coming with healthy things. So they don't limit that the way they do added sugars, which we're supposed to keep as low as 6 added teaspoons a day. That may sound like a lot, but being that it's in everything from ketchup to dressing, if you're not making it the way I do in my book, it's easy to go over that. And that piece of cheesecake or chocolate cake, it can have 14 in a single piece.
Wow.
So what I do is I offer alternatives. I offer lower sugar, lower calorie alternatives. And I give people several choices. You want an all-natural sweetener that gives you less sugar? You got it. You want to use regular sugar in smaller amounts? You got it. You want a zero-calorie sweetener? That's in there too. And that way, if you're really needing to curb, you have diabetes, you're really pulling tight on your carb budget, which is what my stepdaughter does with type 2 diabetes. She wants to leave the carbs in her meal to the pasta, to the sweet potato, to the vegetables. So when she gets to dessert, she wants it a lot lower. Someone else might say, you know what, Marlene, desserts aren't my biggest issue. I'm going to make that more the regular way, although you've made it healthier by lowering the fat and the calories too. But guess what? I'm going to really spend all my time making your chicken dishes because, oh my gosh, it's like the who's who of all the chicken dishes my family loves.
Right.
So with 300 recipes, I was able to really give people recipes for everything. For summer, you've got pasta salad, and you've got macaroni salad, and 3-bean salad, and all the things you take to picnics, and all the dips. And when you bring them, not only is it guilt-free for you, it's something everyone can eat.
I love it. I love it. If you just tuned in, Marlene Koch, all the delicious foods we love, guilt-free, eat what you love. I mean, there's so many of my friends that have diabetes. This is such a great book. So many great things in it. More than 300 incredible recipes, low in sugar, fat, calories. Can you come live in my house? Does everyone want to come to your house for dinner and lunch and breakfast? I can't even imagine.
And it's funny, is I have people who want me to cook that'll actually say, make this from the book or that from the book. And some of those are my boys whose friends would come from college and say, make that buffalo chicken dip. We love it the best. They don't know that that's healthy. I have other friends who are, they're kind of food snobs. I live out here in California. No, they are kind of, sort of, yeah. And they'll say, oh, Marlene, this beef tenderloin and gorgonzola sauce, well, that's not from your book, is it? And I'm like, yeah. That's from my book. That's a healthy recipe. And they're like, wow. I thought those were, diet, quote unquote. I'm like, no. This is a cookbook that has incredible tasting recipes, and guess what? They just happen to be better for you.
Wow. Amazing. I love it. Well, we're all going to go out and get it. Thank you so much. Eat What You Love, Marlene Koch's, her New York Times best-selling book. It's amazing. It's updated. It's revised. It's in a paperback edition. Everyone should have it in their house. Thank you so much.
And people can go to my website as well for more information at Marlene, and we talked about that cook. It's MarleneKoch.com.
You got it. Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing this with us today. Thank you.